Forever, beloved soul, listen to me closely, for what I am about to tell you is not coincidence. It is divine appointment. You were not led here by accident. Forever, you were not drawn to these words because of curiosity or chance. You are here because the Spirit whispered your name this week. Something inside you has been stirring. Forever, quietly at first, but lately it's been louder, an ache, a pull, a yearning you cannot quite name. That chosen one is the sound of heaven calling you into a new season. Forever, do not ignore it. This week changes everything. There is a shift happening in the unseen realm, a movement so profound that the very air you breathe will soon taste different. Forever, the same pain that once crushed you will begin to make sense. The same tears that fell on your pillow will now water the soil beneath your feet. Forever, and out of that ground will rise the very promise you've been praying for. You have been through storms that would have shattered most people, but you did not break. Forever, you have been through silence so deep that it felt like God himself had turned his face away, but still you prayed, still you hoped, still you rose each morning. Forever, dragging your weary heart into another day because something inside you refused to die. That something, oh, that sacred flame, was never meant to die. You are chosen. Forever, not because you are perfect, but because your heart has endured the fire and kept its tenderness. You are chosen because even when you were stripped bare, forever you still whispered, thank you. You are chosen because when others walked away, you still looked to the sky and said, I will wait on you. This week, beloved, forever, heaven responds. This week the unseen will start to move in your favor, but I must warn you, it will not arrive dressed as a miracle you expect. No, it will come softly. Forever, disguised in ordinary moments, a conversation, a delay, a rejection, a door that suddenly opens or one that slams shut. The divine rarely announces itself with trumpets. Forever, it hides inside what looks like inconvenience, testing to see if you will trust what you cannot yet understand. Do not ignore these signs. When your spirit feels a nudge, ever pause and listen. When peace suddenly floods your heart after long confusion, that is God whispering, walk this way. When restlessness begins to rise within you for no apparent reason, that is heaven rearranging your path. Trust it, follow it. You have been asking for change forever, but change rarely comes in the form of comfort. It comes as disruption. It comes as endings that make you question your worth and beginnings that make you tremble with uncertainty. Forever. But remember this, the same God who allowed the wilderness is the same God who planted manna in it. He will not lead you into a desert without already preparing your provision there. Forever. You have been walking through the valley not because you were forgotten, but because you were being refined. The waiting was not punishment, it was preparation. Forever, the silence was not neglect, it was instruction. Every unanswered prayer, every delayed promise, forever, every painful goodbye has been God's way of shaping you into the vessel he can trust with destiny. Do not underestimate the magnitude of this week. Something is aligning. Hearts, opportunities, doors, divine connections, all being positioned like pieces of a holy puzzle. The enemy tried to distract you because he saw this moment long before you did. Forever. He used fear to make you doubt yourself, guilt to make you retreat, and exhaustion to make you quit. But you are still standing, and that is the proof that you have already won. Forever. You may not see it yet, but victory has been written into your story. Your name has been spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. Forever, your prayers have echoed in places your feet haven't walked yet. This week what has been hidden will begin to unfold. Chosen one. Forever, do not let the weight of yesterday steal the glory of today. The past has no permission to walk into this new season. Forgive who you must forgive, release what you must release, forever, and close the chapter on what no longer serves your spirit. There is no elevation without separation. You cannot take everyone and you cannot carry everything. Forever, this new door God is opening was measured precisely for you. It won't fit the baggage of your old identity. Forever. Let go of trying to explain yourself to those who were never meant to understand your calling. Some people cannot see your value because they were never meant to handle your destiny. Forever, and that's okay. Walk away gracefully, for their misunderstanding is simply God's protection in disguise. This week you will begin to see the fruit of unseen obedience. Forever, every seed you planted in tears will start to push through the soil. It may be small at first, but it's sacred. Nurture it. Speak life over it. Protect your peace like holy ground. Forever. Because that peace is where your power lives. You've been surviving on fumes, giving more than you received, loving people who couldn't love you back. Forever, and believing for things that seemed impossible. Yet here you are, alive, breathing, evolving. That alone is a miracle. That alone is proof that you carry divine resilience. Forever, God did not keep you here to simply exist. He kept you here because your light is needed for what comes next. And so I urge you, forever chosen one, stop waiting for permission to step into what you were born for. Heaven already approved you. You do not need validation from those who overlooked you. Forever, you do not need applause to know your worth. God has been molding you in obscurity so that when the moment comes, your light won't blind you. it will guide others. Forever, that is why he hid you for so long. That is why doors didn't open when you thought they should. He wasn't punishing you, he was perfecting you. He was ensuring that when you rise, forever, your foundation would be deep enough to withstand the storm that comes with the spotlight. There will be people who question your sudden glow. Forever, they will wonder how you found peace after chaos, how you rose from what was supposed to destroy you. You won't need to explain a thing. The light will speak for itself. Forever, the grace on your life will announce you before your words do. You are not the same person you were last month, last year, or even yesterday. Something divine is awakening inside you. Forever, and once it rises, nothing will silence it again. This week is not random, it is appointed. You are crossing from survival into destiny, from confusion into clarity. Forever, from pain into purpose. You may feel the tension of transition. It often feels like breaking before becoming. But do not resist it. The stretching is sacred. Forever, it is proof that God is enlarging your capacity to receive what you once thought was impossible. Every discomfort you feel is making room for divine abundance. Forever, you cannot carry both fear and faith into this new chapter. Choose faith. Choose to believe that what you have lost was never greater than what is coming. Choose to see the delay as divine strategy. Choose to walk in expectation rather than anxiety. For the chosen are not those who never fall, they are those who rise again and again, forever, with grace in their eyes and purpose in their bones. Beloved, listen to me. There is a sound in heaven that bears your name this week. It is the sound of chains breaking. Forever, of doors unlocking, of angels being dispatched to rearrange what seemed impossible. The prayers you whispered in the dark are now rippling through eternity. Forever, you will see confirmations everywhere, in a message, a dream, a number, a moment of stillness when you suddenly feel peace after a storm. Do not dismiss these as coincidences. Forever, they are reminders that heaven has not forgotten you. This week, divine alignment meets divine timing, and when those two collide, miracles are inevitable. But remember this, forever, the enemy will try one last time to make you doubt what you hear. He will use familiar voices, old patterns, sudden fatigue, and emotional heaviness to distract you. Forever, recognize it for what it is, a desperate attempt to make you miss your moment. Do not give in. Rest, but do not retreat. Be still, but do not surrender. Forever, speak light into the atmosphere. Say to yourself, this week everything changes for my good. Declare it until your heart believes it. Prophecy over your own life. There is power in your words. The universe responds to faith spoken boldly. You have suffered in silence for too long, for thinking perhaps your prayers were too small or your dreams too impossible. But hear me now, God was not ignoring you. He was positioning everything to meet you at the right time. Forever, He was preparing hearts, softening circumstances, shifting timelines. He was building the stage for your divine debut. Forever, you had to walk through certain losses so that you would no longer cling to what couldn't go with you. You had to face rejection so you'd recognize true acceptance when it arrives. Forever, you had to be emptied so that He could fill you with something far greater than what you lost. This week, all of that begins to make sense. Chosen one, I know you're tired. Forever, tired of being strong, tired of waiting, tired of hoping that this is finally the week it all turns around. But hear this truth deep in your bones: God is never late, He is precise. Forever, what feels delayed to you is divine choreography to Him. He has been weaving a tapestry so intricate that even your heartbreak was a thread of beauty sewn. Forever, you will look back and realize that nothing was wasted. Every detour was divine direction. Every setback was secret training. Every pain was preparation. Forever, you were not denied, you were being developed, and now you stand on the edge of transformation. You may not feel ready, but destiny never waits for comfort. Forever, it calls you into the unknown, whispering, trust me. Say yes to that call. Say yes even if your knees tremble. Say yes even if you don't have all the answers. Say yes, forever, because faith doesn't require proof, it requires surrender. This week, your yes will unlock doors that have been closed for years. Your willingness to move forward, even afraid, forever, will open the gates of favor that no man can shut. There is a crown waiting for you on the other side of obedience. Not a crown of gold, but one of peace, wisdom, and power. Forever, the world does not need more noise. It needs the quiet strength you carry. It needs your compassion, your light, your resilience. You were not chosen to impress. Forever, you were chosen to impact. Every trial you've endured has built an authority in you that cannot be taught. Forever, you carry the kind of wisdom that only comes from surviving what should have destroyed you. Do not hide that light any longer. This week, let it shine without apology. Forever, you may be tempted to question whether you're truly ready, but hear this: destiny doesn't choose the perfect, it chooses the willing. You have already been chosen, sealed, forever, and anointed for this. Heaven has been waiting for you to realize it. So rise, stand tall, speak life, walk as though you've already won, because in the Spirit you have. Forever, every obstacle before you has already been defeated. Every doubt within you has already been answered. The storm has served its purpose. The waiting has birthed wisdom. And now, forever, the promise is coming into view. So do not ignore the stirring you feel this week. Do not silence the small voice urging you to move, to forgive, to try again, to dream again. Forever, that is God calling you out of hiding. This is the week where faith becomes sight, where what was whispered becomes visible. Your story is shifting. Forever, your name is being mentioned in divine conversations, and the path ahead, though uncertain, will be lit by grace. You are not walking alone. Every step you take this week, forever, angels walk beside you. Every word you speak in faith, heaven echoes. Every tear you cry in surrender, God collects. The world may not understand what is happening, but your spirit does. You can feel it, the change in the air, the quiet assurance that something sacred is near. That is not imagination, that is revelation. Forever, and when revelation comes, transformation follows. So breathe deeply, chosen one. Let go of fear, stand in gratitude, lift your eyes to the heavens and whisper, forever, I'm ready, because you are. You have been ready longer than you realize. This week the doors open. This week the path clears. This week, forever, your spirit rises into alignment with the promise that was written over you long before you were born. Do not ignore this moment. Step into it. Forever, walk boldly through the threshold of destiny and watch how everything begins to shift in your favor. Heaven is watching, the earth is waiting, and all of creation is whispering your name. This week changes everything, because this week you finally believe that you were chosen all along. Forever, and when I tell you that this week changes everything, I do not mean it lightly. There are weeks in a lifetime that arrive quietly and yet alter the entire course of your existence. Forever, this is one of them. You may not feel the magnitude of it today, but the heavens are trembling with anticipation. The angels are rearranging things on your behalf. The Spirit is leaning close to whisper direction into your ear. The wind is shifting, carrying with it the fragrance of new beginnings. Something in you will soon awaken. Forever, something that has been asleep too long, something powerful, radiant, and destined. This is not coincidence, this is calling. And the calling will not be silenced this time. Forever. You have walked through so many shadows that you began to think light was an illusion. You have endured betrayal that sliced through your trust like glass. Forever, endured nights where your tears became prayers, endured seasons where hope felt like a cruel joke. Yet through it all, you never stopped believing that somewhere, somehow, there had to be meaning in it. You kept walking even when the ground trembled beneath you. You kept loving even when your heart had nothing left to give. Forever, you kept breathing when your spirit wanted to surrender. That kind of resilience is holy, beloved. That kind of endurance is the mark of the chosen. Forever, I know it has not been easy to carry faith when nothing around you looked like a promise. Forever, I know the loneliness that settles deep when no one seems to understand the weight of your calling. I know the ache of waiting for a sign, a breakthrough, a glimpse of hope. Forever, but listen closely now, your patience has not gone unseen. Heaven has been taking note of every tear, every act of quiet courage, every time you chose love instead of bitterness. Forever, this week the scales begin to tip. The balance of your journey is shifting from testing to testimony. The hands of divine timing are turning toward you. And what once felt delayed will suddenly feel destined. Do not rush this moment, breathe it in. Forever, you are standing in the in-between, the place where endings still echo but beginnings are already humming softly. It is uncomfortable, yes, but it is sacred. Forever, God does his best work in the quiet transitions when the world thinks nothing is happening but the soul is being rewired. You are being rewired for abundance, for peace, forever, for divine purpose. That is why certain people can no longer find you where you used to be. That is why certain things no longer satisfy you. You are not broken, you are transforming. Forever, you are shedding an old frequency to rise into alignment with the life you were meant to live. The chosen often walk alone for a while, not because they are unloved forever, but because destiny requires separation before revelation. You had to walk through the valley alone so that your faith would not depend on applause. You had to lose some people, forever, some opportunities, even some dreams, so that you could learn the language of surrender. Surrender is not weakness, it is the highest form of trust. And trust, beloved, forever, is what unlocks miracles. When you stop trying to control how the promise arrives and simply trust that it will, the universe rushes to respond. This week, forever, let go of how you thought it would happen. Let go of timelines, expectations, and fears. Let go of forcing outcomes and watch how effortlessly things begin to flow. For you are entering a season where effort will turn into ease, where striving will give way to grace, where what used to take years will now take moments. Forever. That is what happens when divine timing meets divine readiness. You are ready now, ready to walk through doors that once intimidated you. Forever, ready to speak words that once trembled in your throat, ready to forgive what once tormented you. You are ready to live free, and freedom, true freedom, forever, begins when you stop explaining your light to those committed to misunderstanding it. You owe no one an apology for the way you are rising. You owe no one a warning for the way you are evolving. The same God who began this good work in you will perfect it, and he doesn't require permission from anyone to do it. For this week, I want you to expect the unexpected. Expect peace where there was confusion. Expect joy where there was sorrow. Expect clarity where there was fog. Forever expect divine encounters, those strange, beautiful, unplanned moments that feel like déjà vu because your spirit recognizes what your eyes are only just seeing. Forever expect to be surprised by grace, overwhelmed by beauty, moved to tears for no reason other than that you finally feel seen by heaven. The chosen are never forgotten. Forever only hidden until the right moment. And beloved, your moment has arrived. When you wake up in the morning, say to yourself, forever, I am ready for divine alignment. Say it until your bones believe it. Carry it in your breath, in your thoughts, in the rhythm of your heartbeat. Forever watch how the energy around you starts to shift. The same power that parted the sea, the same voice that spoke galaxies into being now moves on your behalf. Forever. The same spirit that raised what was dead now breathes life into your dreams. You have cried long enough. You have fought long enough. Now it is time to receive. Forever, this is your season of restoration, not partial, not delayed, but full and divine. But remember this, chosen one, restoration is not only about gaining what was lost. Forever, it is about becoming who you were always meant to be. The version of you that survived the darkness carries wisdom, grace, and strength beyond measure. Do not shrink to fit back into the old you. The old you is necessary for the lesson, but the new you is necessary for the promise. Step boldly into your new skin. Forever, wear your growth like a crown. Walk with quiet confidence, knowing that you are walking in answered prayer. Forever. You will notice that certain things no longer trigger you the way they used to. That's growth. You will feel peace in situations that once brought you pain. That's healing. Forever, you will begin to attract people and opportunities that mirror your higher self. That's alignment. Forever, do not be surprised when blessings start chasing you down. It's simply the universe responding to the energy you now carry. You are magnetic now because you are authentic. Forever, you have stopped pretending to be small. You have stopped apologizing for your light, and light once revealed cannot be hidden again. Even now, forever, I can sense that some part of you is afraid to believe that things could actually change this week. Afraid that you'll hope again only to be disappointed. But beloved, forever, faith has always been a risk. The courage to believe in what you cannot yet see is the mark of the chosen. Every great shift begins with a trembling yes. Forever, do not let fear rob you of your yes. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for permission to move, to heal, to bless. Give him that yes even if your voice shakes. Forever, give him that yes even if you still feel broken. The miracle begins not when you are ready, but when you are willing. The winds of change are not coming, they are here. Forever, you will feel them in conversations that suddenly end, in doors that unexpectedly open. You will sense them in the quiet peace that replaces your old anxiety. Forever, you will see them in opportunities that seem to find you out of nowhere. This is not random. This is divine orchestration. Forever, everything that once worked against you is now working for you. Every closed door was simply God rerouting you to something greater. Every delay was divine protection. Forever, every heartbreak a hidden redirection. And this week, all of that unseen movement begins to take form in your visible world. I want you to walk through this week with your head high. Forever, your heart soft and your spirit expectant. Walk as though you already hold the promise, because in the spirit you do. The manifestation is only a matter of divine timing. Forever, speak with authority. Declare that goodness and mercy are chasing you. Proclaim that peace surrounds you. Believe that abundance flows to you. What you speak creates. Forever, what you believe becomes. You are co-creating your reality with heaven itself, and that power is sacred. Use it wisely, chosen one. Forever, if only you could see what heaven sees when it looks at you, you would never doubt yourself again. You would marvel at the strength hidden beneath your scars. Forever, the fire behind your eyes, the divine fingerprints all over your journey. You are not behind, you are right on time. You are not forgotten, you are favored. You are not lost. Forever, you are being led. And though it may not feel like it, everything that has happened was necessary to bring you here, to this precise intersection of grace and destiny. Forever, do not ignore the stillness that follows the storm. It is not emptiness, it is space for the new. Do not mistake peace for boredom, it is divine preparation. The noise has quieted because God is about to speak clearly. You have prayed for direction, and now it comes not in thunder but in whispers. Pay attention to the whispers. Forever, pay attention to what draws your peace and what disturbs it. That is how the Spirit guides the chosen through the rhythm of peace. And when you feel the weight of uncertainty, forever, remember this: your story was written with victory at the end. The plot may twist, but the outcome is sealed. Forever, you will not fail because your destiny is not fragile. It is anchored in divine promise. Forever, you will not miss what is meant for you because what is meant for you carries your name in heaven's handwriting. It cannot be stolen, delayed, or denied. Forever, only delivered at the appointed time, and that time, beloved, is now. So rise with dignity, rise with gratitude, rise with unshakable faith. Rise forever, not because you have to prove anything, but because you were born to shine. This week, something sacred unfolds. It may start small, but it will grow. The clouds will part. Forever, the path will clear and your heart will finally understand why it had to wait so long. You will smile through tears and say, "Now I see." You will look back on the pain and realize it was never wasted. Every scar will tell a story of grace. Every loss will reveal hidden treasure. Forever, every broken piece will shine like stained glass in the light of redemption. This week is holy ground. Walk gently, but walk boldly. Speak softly, but speak truth. Trust the process. Forever, for heaven has already gone ahead of you. The door you have been knocking on is about to open. The peace you have been craving is about to settle in your soul. Forever, the favor you have been praying for is about to find you. Do not ignore the signs. Do not dismiss the miracles because they come disguised as ordinary days. Forever, do not let fear talk you out of what faith has already secured. You are the chosen one, the living proof that God still writes beauty out of ashes. Forever, so go forth into this week with your heart open and your spirit ready. Forever, something divine awaits you, something that will confirm everything you ever hoped for and silence every doubt you ever carried. Do not ignore it, beloved. Forever, this week changes everything, not because the world suddenly shifts, but because you do. And once the chosen awaken to who they truly are, forever, the entire universe bends in reverence to make way for their rise. And if your heart is trembling right now, if something within you feels both terrified and alive, forever know that this is what awakening feels like. The chosen never rise in silence, they rise in the trembling. They rise in the uncertainty. They rise when their knees are shaking. Forever, when their voice quivers, when they have nothing left but faith. And it is that trembling faith that shakes the heavens. Forever, it is that trembling faith that summons angels and moves mountains. You do not have to be fearless to step into destiny. You only have to be faithful. And you, beloved, forever, have been faithful even when it hurt. You have loved when love was not returned, believed when nothing gave you reason to, and kept walking when your strength was nearly gone. Forever, that kind of faith is holy currency. That kind of endurance draws divine attention, and heaven has taken note of you. Forever, there is a moment before every great shift when everything feels still heavy, almost unbearable. It feels as though time has stopped, as though the promise has forgotten its way home. Forever, but that stillness is not absence, it is anticipation. It is the deep inhale before God exhales His blessing into your life. You are standing on that breath right now. Forever, the air around you is thick with expectancy. The ground beneath you hums with purpose. What you have been waiting for is closer than you think. Do not turn away now. Do not doubt now. Forever, the very pressure you feel is the sign that something new is about to break through. Pressure always comes before birth. Forever, you have outgrown the version of yourself that once settled for less. You can feel it in your bones. You no longer fit in places where you used to shrink. Forever, that's because God has stretched your spirit. You have tasted the divine and cannot go back to the ordinary. Forever, you cannot go back to living on scraps of peace when you were made to feast on joy. You cannot go back to begging for validation when you were born crowned with purpose. Forever, this is your time to step into fullness. Do not wait for permission. The light within you has already been given authority to shine, and when you finally embrace who you are, forever the world will have no choice but to adjust to your brilliance. You may have been told that you are too sensitive, too emotional, too much. But hear me, forever chosen one, your sensitivity is sacred. It is how the divine speaks through you. It is why you feel deeply and see clearly. It is not weakness, it is your gift. Forever, the world may not understand it, but heaven does. The same tears that others dismiss are the water that nourishes your calling. Forever, the same empathy that others mock is the bridge through which you will heal hearts. Do not dim that light to make others comfortable. You were meant to disturb what is stagnant. Forever, you were meant to awaken what is asleep. You were meant to carry light into places still chained by darkness. And this week you will begin to see how your pain has become purpose. Forever, there is someone who will cross your path this week who will remind you of who you are. It might be a stranger, it might be a word, a sign, a whisper. But when it comes, forever your spirit will recognize it. That moment will not be small, it will be the universe's way of saying, I have not forgotten you. Pay attention. Forever, every encounter this week carries a message. Every delay carries direction. Every ending carries instruction. Ever, the divine speaks through everything when your heart is open enough to listen. Do not rush through your days. Walk slowly. Notice the details. Forever, feel the rhythm of grace moving quietly beneath your steps. This week is not about proving your worth. It's about remembering it. You have spent years trying to earn love, approval, ever success, thinking that if you just did more, gave more, achieved more, then maybe you'd finally be enough. But you were enough before you ever began. Forever, God called you chosen long before the world called you broken. And this week, the illusion of inadequacy will begin to crumble. Forever, you will begin to see yourself through divine eyes, whole, radiant, powerful. You will look in the mirror and not just see the reflection of who you are, forever, but the reflection of every storm you survived, every prayer you prayed, every victory you didn't even realize you'd won. You will see yourself maybe for the first time. forever, and whisper, I am free. Freedom is not the absence of struggle, it is the refusal to be defined by it. You will still face challenges, but you will face them differently. For the fear that once paralyzed you will lose its grip. The doubts that once consumed you will fade beneath the sound of your own courage. Forever, you will begin to understand that every storm was training you to trust your own strength. Forever, every time the world said no, it was pushing you closer to the yes that was meant for you. Every time something left, it was making room for something sacred to arrive. This week, that sacred arrival begins, and when it comes, do not sabotage it with disbelief. Do not talk yourself out of what you prayed for. The chosen often struggle to receive because they have been conditioned to survive. But this is not survival season anymore. This is overflow. You are not meant to barely get by. Forever, you are meant to live in abundance of peace, love, purpose, and joy. Let yourself receive without guilt. Let yourself rest without apology. You have poured out long enough. Forever, now let the divine pour back into you. When blessings come, do not question whether you deserve them. Of course you do. You endured the fire and came out gold. Forever, you faced the darkness and still chose light. That alone makes you worthy. There will be moments this week when you'll feel an inexplicable peace. Forever, even if your circumstances haven't changed yet. That peace is not denial, it is prophecy. It is your spirit recognizing what your eyes haven't yet seen. Forever, it is the quiet knowing that something beautiful is already unfolding behind the scenes. Trust that peace, lean into it. It is your confirmation that the shift is real. Forever, you may also feel resistance. You may feel old habits pulling you back, old fears whispering lies, old wounds demanding attention. That is normal. Every time you step into new light, forever, shadows try to follow. But you are not who you were before. You are wiser now. You recognize the voice of fear, and you know it cannot speak truth. When fear arises, forever, speak faith louder. When doubt whispers, respond with gratitude. Gratitude disarms darkness. It opens doors no key can. It tells the universe you are ready for more. Forever, the chosen are not perfect, but they are persistent. You have learned to rise without applause, to forgive without closure, to hope without evidence. Forever, that kind of strength cannot be taught. It must be lived, and you have lived it. You have been both the student and the lesson, the wounded and the healer. Forever, the seeker and the revelation. This week, all those versions of you come together in divine harmony. You will no longer feel torn between who you were and who you're becoming. Forever, you will simply be whole, aligned, at peace. I want you to know something sacred. God never wastes a week, even when it feels ordinary, even when nothing spectacular seems to happen. Forever, every moment is part of your becoming. So if this week brings you stillness instead of fireworks, do not despair. Sometimes the greatest miracles happen quietly within. Forever, sometimes the change isn't in what you see, but in what you no longer fear. That too is transformation. That too changes everything. You have been running so long, forever, trying to make sense of your purpose, but purpose doesn't always reveal itself in lightning bolts. Sometimes it unfolds in gentle revelation. Forever, you begin to notice what brings you peace, what ignites your spirit, what makes you feel alive, and there, hidden in those sacred moments, is your purpose. This week, forever, you will begin to remember it. You will feel the pull of something greater, and when you do, follow it. Follow it without needing the full map. Forever, the divine rarely gives you the whole picture. It only asks for one step of faith at a time. Take that step. And when you do, you will notice that the weight begins to lift. Forever, the anxiety that once wrapped around your heart like chains will loosen. The exhaustion that lived in your bones will start to fade. You will breathe easier. You will laugh deeper. Forever, you will feel lighter, not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you finally understand that you are held, guided, and loved through it all. Forever, that knowing, that unwavering peace is the miracle you've been waiting for. This week, chosen one, let the old self rest. Forever, you no longer need to fight battles that have already been won. You no longer need to explain your worth to those who cannot see it. Forever, you no longer need to question whether you are on the right path. You are. The evidence will come, the fruit will appear, but the knowing must come first. Forever, walk as though it's already done, because in the unseen it is. So lift your head, straighten your shoulders. Forever, let the light in your eyes tell the world that something sacred has shifted. Walk as though the ground beneath your feet was blessed specifically for you. Forever, speak softly but carry divine authority in your tone. Live like the miracle you are. And when the sun sets, whisper gratitude into the night. Gratitude for the waiting. Forever, for the lessons, for the faith that refused to die. Because this week marks the beginning of something you prayed for long ago. Do not ignore it. Forever, do not let the noise of the world drown out the whisper of God. The whisper is calling you home, to peace, to purpose, to power. This week changes everything. Forever, not because destiny suddenly finds you, but because you finally stop running from it. You stand still, open your hands, and say, I'm ready. And the heavens, forever, with joy unspeakable, reply, we've been waiting for you. And when you wake in the quiet hours before dawn, chosen one, do not despise that stillness. Forever, it is not emptiness, it is preparation. The heavens are aligning something mighty in your favor, and your spirit needs the quiet before the sound. Forever, the calm before the wind shifts and carries you into a new realm. This week holds more than passing days, it holds divine rearrangement. Forever, you may not see the hands moving behind the curtain, but trust that God is working in the unseen. Forever, shifting pieces that once felt scattered into a pattern so profound it will make you weep when it unfolds. You may have thought the delay was denial, but no, it was protection. Forever, you may have mistaken the silence for abandonment, but no, it was refinement. God was teaching you to hear with your soul, not your ears. To see with faith, not your eyes. Forever, chosen one, this week the divine clock strikes a new hour. You've been circling the same mountain, wondering when the promise would meet the present. Forever. And now heaven leans close and whispers, now. You have passed unseen tests, endured heartbreaks that could have hardened your heart but instead softened it toward grace. Forever, you have wrestled with loneliness that carved wisdom into your spirit. Every tear that fell was a seed, and now the harvest begins.